let's talk about your growth personally. I know you're on a journey, and every other person says, I'm not there, I'm growing. And the more you continue expressing yourself, the more your patterns become clear. And that's one way of knowing an artist.
Yes, yes.
Like you say, like if you look at any Kukito murals that are done, you would spot the artist and say, well, guys, it's because of ABCD.
Yes.
Right. Have you grown with your patterns? Are there some patterns and strokes that you would consistently then say, guys, I can't move away from this, but this is me?
Right.
What patterns are those that guys will pick out in your paintings?
Okay. So far, I'd say I'm a young artist, still growing, but what I have picked from my work so far is just, it's colorful. It's vibrant. It's gonna be colorful. It's gonna be vibrant. That's for sure. I love that art. I love that color can really change a mood. I could walk into a dark room, and then even if I was happy right before I entered that room, now my mood has changed. But I love the whole idea of color coming together just to create all this vibrance and to give you all these ideas in your head that you didn't even know you had. You can see colors coming together so beautifully, and all the questions that you probably had in your head get to be answered just by you putting all these pieces of a puzzle together to come together. So for me, mine would be just colorfulness and vibrance. Yes, that's my...
That's your
style.
identity.
That's my identity.
That's you.
Yes.
That it's gonna be. So just in summary, that your paintings or your work of art, when somebody's gonna look at it, it's gonna have a lot of vibrant colors.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
And they're gonna be deep in that sense.
Yes.
In strokes chemistry, you're going to show somebody that. You find some people go very deep in it, some go faintly on it.
Right.
How do you interpret that? Does it show emotion when you're trying to understand the strokes on a particular painting or work of art? Is that something that I would look and then say, maybe Waridi here was trying to communicate about the intensity of this issue? If the stroke is quite deep and heavy, and if the color at some point is so deeper than the rest of the places on the canvas, I would say, well, guys, you see, this is exactly what she was going to stress here. Is that how you read a painting?
Yes, that is one way to interpret it. Depends on what the artist is trying to achieve. And I like that you've mentioned that, because in this painting of mine, you can see that the red area is a bit textured. It has not only optical texture, it has tangible.
Actually carry it so that I can look at it.
Yes, what I was trying to achieve with that, you can see it, you can touch it.
It's actually got the texture here.
Yes. It's the intensity of the passions, of the things that we are passionate about. They're so strong to us. We feel them everywhere. It's everywhere in everything we do. And so that's why I was trying to communicate that it might be a bit hard to walk out of this wide path, given how much it draws us in and all the nice things that pave it. And so on the other side, on the lower side, which is supposed to represent the darkness and the confusion, and the upside where we have the beauty and the peace and the love, where we have the flowers, it's a bit flat, because it's a thing that's more in our heads. We just know that on the flip side, it's probably bad. But how bad is it? You haven't experienced it and then come back and to just know how bad it is. And we can only imagine it. But right now, where we are right now, what we can see, touch, and feel, it's very real for us. Yes.
Pretty much. I say, already, every time I speak to you again, I know we have 5 minutes left for this conversation. I'm going to ask you this. It's quite sad as well. I didn't want this to stop. So, I hear you explain about this art. And I keep on going to the relation to songs. No song is ever bad, by the way. The reality is, when you look at the chemistry of making songs and the psychology of making songs, the song you hate most, somebody's going to relate to it on a deeper sense. It touches your brain at different areas. Where you're like, why do you like this song? I don't like it. Some people love sad songs, some people like vibrant songs and all that. And songs communicate through beats. And that's it. So if it's a beat that I like, if it's a slower beat, a deeper beat, I love it. What do you think is going to pull more people to this form of art? Because it's a form of art that I do not think the majority of us have been drawn to understand.
Yeah,
what do you think is going to draw more? And that's an industry question. Like, what do you think needs to be done with your industry so that now you can draw more people to these beats, to these textures here, to these messages here? Because this is an art that I do not think majority of people have been open to. Like, you can understand this painting. And have a meaning to it.
It's true. And for the record, I've never gifted someone a painting that I loved and it was close to my heart. One of my favorite paintings. Yeah. But they didn't quite see it. So I could tell that they didn't appreciate it as much as I did, and that hurt me. That might have hurt me a bit. And I feel like the way to draw people into this kind of, let me just say this now that you mentioned it. When I made this painting, I didn't want to show it to anyone. I was just going to keep it to myself, and no one was ever going to see it. But like I told you, when I told my nanny about it, she was like, no, you can't not show people this painting. It has a really good meaning to it, and it would be a criminal offense to not show people. And
thank you, Nanny. We have it now.